Welcome to the Art of Leverage. I'm Tiffanie Kellog, and I'm so very excited to be joined today by Oliver Belin. Welcome, Oliver. So glad to have you.
Yes, thank you, Tiffany. Also super excited to be part of this series today.
Yes. So do me a favor. Tell me a little bit. What is this calcium? What is that? What is that?
You mean the logo on the other
Yes.
side?
The logo, the company name. Tell me about it, because I know I mispronounced that too.
It's called CALCULUM because our company is all about calculation and finding the right payment terms for our corporate clients using AI and analytics.
Okay. Tell me more about that.
Yes, maybe I should start. So we are all about payment terms. So we do one thing very well, and it is analyzing and optimizing payment terms for corporates. Now, when you think about payment terms, most people have never heard about that, but it's the length, how long it takes a company to pay another trading partner. Now, most people don't know, but it's very, very important because of any type of negotiation which involves products or services. You always discuss a few things. The first thing is you always discuss the volume. How much do I buy? What is the price? What is the quality? And the last point is how long it takes you to pay me or how long I have to wait to pay you. This is the payment terms. And as you can imagine, if you can hold longer to your money to pay your suppliers, or if you can collect faster the money from your customer, has a huge impact on your financials, especially on your working capital and cash flow. This is what we are trying and what we are optimizing for our clients.
Okay, so imagine that we've got somebody that has no idea really what's going on, and they're figuring out, okay, what does this mean? Could you walk me through? It could be a fictitious example or a real life example of how you would work with this client.
Yeah, so it's pretty simple. So how it works is, in order to give to a company insights on what should be the payment terms, we need to know what are your current terms already today and with whom are you dealing with. So how it works is, the first step is we sign a mutual NDA because obviously this is corporate data. And then we only require to get started 6 data points. So we only need to know who is the buyer, who is the supplier, how much are you buying, what are your current terms, what are you buying, so the commodity or the category you're purchasing, and the currency. That's it. And as you may know, these are standard data points in any kind of accounting or ERP system. This is then usually uploaded securely to our platform, and then we do the rest. So usually it takes a few days, a week, depending on how much is shared with us. Usually companies share with us thousands of their trading partners. And then we run it through our engine, and then we present the results. Sometimes the results are not good for us, but very good for the client, meaning that the platform shows that they are perfectly aligned with the market, with each single supplier. But mostly the platform shows that, hey, you are way below the market average or below your competitors in paying your suppliers. So there's a huge opportunity to optimize your terms to be aligned with your competitors.
Gotcha. And what made you decide to get into this business?
So myself and our team, we come from the business of financing working capital, financing supply chains, which, as the word says, implies financing, which mostly comes from third-party funders, which are banks. Now, as we all know, if you're dealing with banks, there are limitations. What country they want to finance, what currencies they're able to support, and what type of risk, credit risk, they can fund. And at the end, you always end up with similar names, similar company name, where everybody is competing to provide them financing, which is still a very growing market and obviously has a lot of interest, especially in these challenging times. However, we saw that by leveraging data and providing insights to companies, how they can be aligned with their payment terms, creates already huge benefits because obviously information is key to be competitive. And by doing so, we are not relying on any bank. That means we can provide data to very small companies. We typically go to companies as small as 20 million annual revenue to multi-billion-dollar organizations. We can provide our services for companies which are non-investment grade, meaning that their credit rating is not as good as, like, I don't know, a AAA company like Apple, for example, or even companies which are Chapter 11, companies which are in emerging markets. So there's no limitation. And as I explained before, the good news is everybody is dealing with payment terms, because when they're buying and selling, payment terms is a integral part of any negotiation. And everybody understands the concept, the benefit of getting paid earlier or paying later their suppliers. So that was the reason for CALCULUM.
Now, and so as you're working with a customer, so I know you do the analysis. Do you take that one step further and then do you go to the suppliers and negotiate? Or is it more of they get the information from you and that's your job is done?
Yeah, so it's something in between. So obviously we are all about data. Today, we have more than 1.3 million companies analyzed.
Wow.
All over the world. And the platform, which is called ADA, which was one of the first mathematicians creating the first algorithms for computers. So this platform is looking at, on an aggregated level, all these companies which have been analyzed and finds what should be the right terms when it's analyzing your spend, your suppliers. Now, obviously, the platform provides insight with data, but then it goes a step further, because as you can imagine, you still have to negotiate and discuss with your trading partner. So we answer also the why, what you should say, why you want to optimize your payment terms. So the system creates an automatic script, which goes step by step, telling you what you should say on the phone or in a meeting to get all the argumentation and to be successful in your negotiation.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Very cool. So I know you mentioned kind of clients that are good working with you is a minimum of 20 million. Tell me a little bit more about that ideal client for you.
Yes, so today, I have to say, our clients are huge multinational companies, multi-billion-dollar organizations, which is great. There's brand recognition and they have big supply chains. The bad thing is, as we all know, dealing with large organizations takes much more time. There's much more requirements in terms of security and data compliance, etc. So that's why our ideal client would be in the range of, I'd say, mid-market companies, which today, I can speak in the US, are still underserved in terms of getting financing, helping them improve their working capital. So this is our ideal clients because they have a certain size where they have leverage among their trading partners to optimize their terms. And for us, they are pretty fast in making decisions to move forward.
That makes sense. They don't have to go through all the different departments and all the red tape. They're easily able to say yes now. Right. Where do you find that you get most of your clients?
Yes. So most of our clients we get by reaching out to them. And so far, when I explain what we're doing, it's most people say, like, why did nobody else come up with this idea, right? It's used all over the world, any company. And if you ask today your network or your contacts how they determine what should be the right payment terms, you always receive the answer, okay, I'm just used what I have applied the last 10 years. I know it was always 30 days. I just used 30 days, or I just paying my suppliers what they send me in their invoice. The most sophisticated companies, I tell you, these multinational companies, which we are working with, they use Excel. So they have no clue what their competitors or the companies and their peers are offering to the same supplier. So what I want to say with that is the difficulty in our business is nobody knows that this platform is out there, that there is a solution which helps you find out what should be the right terms. So when we are getting new clients, a lot of education is required and we have to find them. They are not just coming searching for optimizing payment terms on Google and then they find us on our website. It's a new market which we are creating, a new solution which we have implemented in the market. So hence today, this interview is a great help and good to go out to the market and explain our solution.
Yeah, and that's why I've asked a couple of questions, because I'm like, some of the answers I know, some of the answers I don't. And so I'm always asking questions, even if it seems simple, because if I'm thinking I'm relying on my experience before I do this, there's not a lot of payment terms when it comes to being a coach and a consultant and running groups and things of that nature. However, I had a promotional products company before, and we did have, 15, 30, small business, 15, 30, 45-day terms. So I'm at least familiar with some of that. But yeah, we went into basics so the people watching. So for the people watching, they may want to know what's coming up in the future. So what do you see as the vision for the business in the next 5-10 years?
Yeah, three things, and very easy to explain. So today, our solution is focusing on companies acting as buyers or customers. And we help them determine what should be the ideal payment terms when dealing with their suppliers. Okay. Now, obviously, 99% of every company is a supplier and a customer at the same time. So we are looking in a few months also to flip the model and offering the same insight for companies when they're dealing with their customers. It's the same database. It's just maybe a few small changes, but very similar. Then the second thing, what we are implementing, which is very exciting, is today, for example, we have clients where we analyze 50, 60,000 of their suppliers, $3 billion of spend. And as you can imagine, it will never happen that the procurement people, these are the people which are dealing with suppliers, are picking up the phone and calling 50,000 suppliers. Mostly they are focusing, like in every business, like the 80-20 rule. So they are maybe focusing on the top 200 suppliers. So what happens with the rest of the smaller suppliers? Even there, you can optimize your terms. So what we are looking to introduce is an automated negotiation tool. You asked me for the question, are we negotiating? So it's kind of, we're moving into that direction whereby the clients, they can select specific smaller suppliers or specific supplier groups where they can say, I don't want to pick up the phone and negotiate. I want to invite them to the platform where there's a specific messaging and this argumentation, and where the supplier can negotiate without human intervention or human interaction on the buyer side. They can negotiate the terms, and everything is fully automated. So that will happen quite soon. And then the third one, which we are looking to implement, is as we grow the database, because we are all about data. Now, as I said, we have 1.3 million supplier analyzed. As we grow it, we will not only provide specific insights on each single supplier, but we will offer another product, another data source, which is an index where we tell clients like what should be the right terms looking at an industry, a country, or commodity, and show how these payment terms are evolving. Because maybe most people in the audience, they don't know, but payment terms are changing. Not every month, but we saw that during COVID or during some of the supply chain disruptions. Sometimes it's a buyer's market, sometimes it's a seller's market, and you have to adopt your payment terms.
Gotcha. So it sounds like there's some really cool things coming down the road over the next couple of years. How Has it made any difference? I know in November of 2022, ChatGPT came out, and I think it kind of took the AI world by storm, though it wasn't new. AI has been around for quite a while. Just laymen's are getting a little bit more familiar with AI. How has that impacted, if at all, your business? The fact that people understand AI a little bit better now, maybe, and that you're using it and you're creating things that can help business?
Yeah, as you can, today everybody's AI and everybody mentioned it. So the first important point is a lot of businesses, as we know, even I just heard, even models, catwalk models, they are being replaced by virtual people or virtual AI made up models. So even this business is being attacked or being replaced. The good news for us is payment terms are in everybody's or every company's accounting or ERP system. So AI is driven by data. So today you can test it. You can ask ChatGPT, what should be the right payment terms for this commodity? And the answer is sometimes nothing, or it's not accurate, it's not very detailed. So that is the good news for us. So, but how we are leveraging AI? Two ways. One is, I mentioned before, this automated script and the automated negotiation, which we are using. So ChatGPT or Bart from the Google competitive product, they are very good at natural language processing and using AI for that. So we are leveraging that to describe and having a text form the argumentation when it comes to payment terms. So we load it up with all the data points, and then the AI engine creates the narrative for the negotiation. The second part is where we're using AI, and it's you can also call it advanced analytics. It's not like AI where you have self-driving cars and stuff. It's basically where we have a company which we have all the attributes like the size, the commodity, the country, the rating, all these different attributes. And the system looks at similar companies in the database and what should be their payment terms. And it finds then or suggests then what should be the right terms for this supplier based on multitude of other different companies which share the same kind of characteristics. This is how we leverage it. And then next step is obviously if you are a company and you're negotiating the terms based on our solution, maybe sometimes you get a pushback, where the supplier says, okay, you want to increase my terms by 20 days, I will increase my pricing. So based on this input, the system gets smarter and learns from that.
Awesome.
Using AI.
Thanks for sharing. I know everybody kind of, it's a hot button and it's here to stay, y'all. So sorry, it's not going anywhere. All right. So we talked a ton about work. However, it is about leverage. And sometimes that's about creating some harmony. So I'm a big believer in work hard, play hard. So when you're not working, what do you like to do for fun?
I like do a lot of exercise or sport because it's a good balance between your mind, and especially we do a lot of, as I said, with data and calculation, hence the name Calculum, and it's a good balance to have some kind of connection with your body, not just with your brain.
Awesome. So what are some of the favorite sports or exercises you like to do?
Tennis, running. These are the main activities right now. As we are based in Miami, as we just discussed before, it's a little bit tough with the weather, but
yeah, I took my puppies on a walk at 7 a.m. because it's going to be hot. It's gets hot very quickly here, and we don't want to burn their little paws. So do me a favor, if people are thinking, okay, I need Oliver so much, I could definitely probably be getting better terms, or maybe as you're watching this, you're thinking, what can I do with my terms for my customers? How can we get in touch with you?
Very simple. You just go to our website, www.calculum.ai, and you just send us an email. I think it's pretty easy there on the website, or yeah, you can also send me a personal email to Oliver@CALCULUM.AI, and we are happy to respond. Usually it goes pretty fast. The interaction where we just need 6 data points, and then we present to any company which is interested the results, and only once they see if they are doing well or if there's opportunity to improve, they can decide, yeah, that makes sense. I want to pay for that service and improve my payment terms.
Gotcha. So what is the investment for a business for the initial analysis?
It's free.
Okay,
So
that was the answer I was going. I thought it was, but I wanted to make sure just in case.
yes, so we show you the results of the analytics from the platform, which shows you then where you stand versus your competitors for each single supplier, and then you can say, okay, this makes sense, or I'm doing already an excellent job, and then it's a confirmation of how great your business is doing. But the initial analysis is free. Only once you want to have access to the platform, using the platform to negotiate payment terms with all the argumentation, then you have to pay.
Awesome. Well, it sounds like it's very easy to reach out, see if it's a good fit. You know, Oliver did say sometimes there's not, but a lot of times there is. Now, before we go, one last question I have for you. I think you've got some exciting news that happened July 2023. What's the exciting news? Well, exciting depending on how you look at it.
Yes. So as I mentioned before, we're dealing with very large organizations, and they have a lot of requirements in terms of security, compliance. And we, for a small company as we are, we just got audited in terms of SOC 2. So this determines, like, how you manage security, data compliance, and we have been audited and got it. So that is a big step, because now dealing with large organizations, they know that they can work with us in a secure and compliant way.
Awesome. Well, super congratulations on passing that auditing and doing some amazing things to help businesses create additional success. Leverage the knowledge and all those 1.3 million data points that you've got, and I'm sure that will be growing exponentially to get the best of terms for the companies.
Exactly, you mentioned, because our slogan is called "Because Terms Matters." Exactly that.
Very exciting. Well, thank you so very much for being here with us today, Oliver.
Thank you, Tiffany. It was a pleasure.
And we will be coming to y'all soon with our next episode of The Art of Leverage. Happy networking, y'all.
Thank you. Bye-bye.